It's Drew Freeman, 317 today is what, January 4th, 2015. I'm looking a hot mess, but who gives a shit? I mean, I'm working around the house and I'm working in the garage, getting to work. Getting my hands dirty, actually doing something. But stop it. What I tell you. $10 is crazy. But anyway, I want to address something. This is an individual on the live wire, as my guy calls it. And, it's just, I'm not going to mention names, things like that. People claim, oh, you're using my name for fame. Dude, you're not famous, so whatever. Anyway, although you do make some valid points, the thing is that you love to misuse words and, how would I say it? You know how to twist words. You know how to mix apples and oranges, shall I say. I'm not going to speak on too many specific things. But what I want to do is I want to address the issue of you claiming, as well as others and the people that follow you, which their beliefs are now the beliefs of the guru they follow, which would be you. And mind you, you have the right to say what you want. I don't hate you. I don't anything like that. It's just, it gets under my skin when people cannot see right through a lot of the BS that you put out and claim. Let's deal with this issue of black women being ratchet. According to my knowledge, a ratchet is a damn wrench. It's a tool. I work on cars, been working on cars for over 20 years. I know exactly what it is. So I'm trying to figure out where this ratchet word comes in at. Okay? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. You claim they're ratchet. You claim they do all these ignorant things for attention. You claim this, you claim that. You keep blaming the black woman for their actions today. So let me give it to you like this and prove how you're 100% wrong. All right? Because you're directing your anger and frustration at the black woman. Okay? Saying that it's her fault for being ratchet. She's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing that. What you are failing to realize and tell your listeners, which would be the truth, is that black men are the ones responsible for what you guys call the ratchetness and attitudes of these black women. And I will explain. Because listen to one of the shows, and a lady is on there, and she's making some valid points, but again, you mix apples and oranges to try to destroy her point. Seems like you always want to be on top. No one could be better than you. No one could know more than you. No one could call you out on your BS because you always got something for it. But let me explain to you why the attitudes and actions of black women are based on black men. So the woman was correct when saying that it would better suit you to direct your attention and frustration at the black men, because if the black men realize that they are really responsible for the actions of the black women, and I'm going to explain here in a second, if they would change their actions, by default, the women would have to change theirs. Because after all, the women are seeking attention. You said it yourself. And they're seeking the attention of certain black men. See, back in the day, we used to go out and buy the nicest shoes, the nicest clothes, trying to look better than everybody to get the attention of these women. I remember back in the days where, and I'm almost 40, okay? I'm 38 years old, all right? I remember back in the day, the majority of women, the majority of you consider yourself as ugly. I feel for every ugly person out there, there's another, or every person that considers themselves ugly, there's another ugly person out there that'll like them. So there's somebody out there, there's a seat for every ass, shall I say. But I remember when men used to, oh baby, I can do this, I can do that. Now, I'm going back in the 80s, early 90s, when shit really started to take place with what you guys call this ratchetness. The selling of their bodies, See, if there weren't men who were paying women for sex, women would not be able to sell their bodies. That's using logic. If there were no men who like women to see women take their clothes off and would pay them just to take their clothes off in a strip club, guess what? There would be no strip clubs. Because men would not be paying for a woman to strip. That's logic. A lot of these women out here, and I would say 99% of them that sell their ass, that only go after men for money, is based on the fact that us men offered that up. Because if it was not a demand, then they wouldn't, if there was no demand, we wouldn't have these women acting like this. If there was no demand for prostitutes, meaning men willing to pay women just to fuck them and go on about their business, women wouldn't be selling their ass. If there were no men that would be paying women to strip in a strip club, we wouldn't have women taking their clothes off for money. There would be no demand for it. See, what people don't realize is we as men created the demand, and the woman supplied what we demanded. When us men are looking at light-skinned women with straight hair and all this other mess and showing them all the attention, and black women, other black women see this, a lot of them in turn, to get the attention, they're going to go after or do what they see there's a demand for. There's a demand for pretty women, straight hair, thin body, all this old bullshit. This is why you have women becoming anorexics, because the men are looking more towards thin and what they call petite women. If there was no demand for the shit that these women are doing, they wouldn't do it. If men were not clinging on to women with all this weave in their hair, tight ass clothes on them, they're nothing, parading around showing all their body parts in public, all this other shit. If we look the other way or look down on that shit, guess what? The women would naturally change. Because after all, remember, they're trying to get the attention of the man. They're trying to get attention because they see another woman getting attention. The other woman is getting attention from what? Other men. The men is loving it. They're clinging on to it. Hell, look at the shows nowadays. Everybody looks at this TV and sees what is the demand for, as far as the attitudes on these reality shows and all that, and they end up wanting that. But look how the men accept this shit. Look at the rappers that accept this bullshit. Look at the rappers that are doing the same damn shit. And I'm doing this off the head. I could have, I don't try to be politically correct. You feel me? I just tell it like it is, straight from the heart. Fact of the matter is, if men would be paying women for sex, there would be no whores. Alright? If men were not telling a woman over and over again because they can't get one with their words or anything else, they have no game. The first thing they tell them is, baby, you just don't know what I can do to you. And the more a woman hears what you can do to me, do for me, and I'll buy you this, and I'll buy you that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, guess what? In turn, the majority of them are going to take you up on that fucking offer. But if you didn't make an offer, maybe that woman wouldn't have did that. It doesn't justify it. It's just that we are failing to realize that the point of this video is us men are responsible for the ratchetness in the actions of these black women. And I'm speaking in general, not meaning every single one of us. But if men were not condoning this shit, if men were not participating in this shit, if men were not buying prostitutes, if men were not telling women, oh, I can do this for you, I can do that, I got all this money, you ain't got to work, all this other shit, right? If we men would quit paying or wouldn't have been paying women to take off their clothes in strip clubs and shit, guess what? They wouldn't be able to do it because there would be no fucking demand for it. It's called supply and demand. Same thing the government does. They see what the people, what there appears to be a demand for from the people, and they create what y'all motherfuckers is claiming you want. They're giving you what you asking for, or what they feel you are asking for, or what your actions show that you're asking for. A man that continues to tell a woman, I can do this and I can do that for you, she know you just trying to get in her job to sleep with her. But at the same time, you Negroes sitting up here paying women thousands of dollars to sleep with them. Y'all just, because you can't get them any other way. And you're paying them for sex. You're paying them to take off their clothes. You're doing all these different types of things. Again, and no one can discount this video. Because if men were not paying for sex, and I'm going to say it the last time, women would not be able to prostitute themselves. Okay? And I keep looking at the screen, not the camera, so, whatever. Or not the lens. If men, again, were not paying for prostitutes or wanting prostitutes, or there was not a demand for prostitutes from the men, there would be no prostitutes. If men were not going to strip clubs and making it rain, a woman shake her damn ass for 20 minutes and a baller come in there and she done made damn $10,000. Who wouldn't take off their fucking clothes? You understand what I'm saying? If men are demanding that a woman have long, straight hair, all this other shit, these certain looks, and they getting paid for it, maybe not all. In general. Why wouldn't they do it? I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's moral. Alright? Fact of the matter is, we need to wake up and realize that the reason that these black women, and as well as white women, are so damn ratchet, which y'all call ratchet, which is a tool that I'm getting ready to go in the garage and use in a minute, and every time I look at that tool and use it, I'm going to say, damn, this woman is ratchet. Whatever. Anyway, if we were not creating a demand for this, what y'all call ratchetness, there would be no ratchetness. Hello? I don't think you heard me. So, my point is I strongly believe that men are minimum 90% responsible for the actions of the woman nowadays. You call it what you want, post your comments, I don't give a shit. You got to think for yourself. Like I said, you think about supply and demand. This True Free Man 317, I'm out. Peace.